There's this lie that young men all around the world believe. They think that you magically become a good husband all of a sudden when you meet the right woman. But think of it. You single right now with all your discipline, habits, etc. is the exact version that you will be when you find your future wife. So your partner doesn't all of a sudden make you good. She exposes you for all of your pitfalls. So make sure you watch this video in its entirety if you truly want to learn the 3 major things that men need to accomplish to be ready for that relationship. And this is exactly what I'm doing right now. First, focus on your spiritual life. Think about it this way. If you were to go out to a pretty lady and you said hi to her, would you of course one day want to meet her dad? And when you did eventually meet her father, would you want to be respectful, shake his hand, ask him politely to bring her out to dinner? And so why is it the same with God? When you meet his daughter, surely you'd want to ask him for permission? Except you don't have to see her house, see her family, say hi to the dog to do that. You can talk to God at any point. And so ask him for permission and build a relationship with her father, her true father, before you even meet her in the first place. So pray, fast, actually get in the church. It's not enough to just go to church. Participate, get in youth groups, do whatever you can do to get in and to help. Share the word. Because if you don't have a relationship with God right now while you're single, then how are you supposed to have one all of a sudden when you're married? And if you think about it, if you were to want to make your kids Christian the way you wanted to grow up in a Christian household, what can you change to make that more likely? So learn to go to God first, not other people. And I get it, it's commonplace for men to go to a woman for support. And that's a big deal. When men are at their lowest, especially in relationships, it's the woman's responsibility to come for him and make sure he feels good. And especially keep him accountable such that he goes to the church. And why? That's because men need to go to the church. It says in the Bible that a man must do as Christ does for the church. He must live and die for his partner to bring her to God. And so if he's not doing that, he's not taking enough accountability and he's not ready for the relationship. He needs to bring her to the church. He needs to bring her to God. So when he finds more comfort in her than the Lord, then that's really problematic because it shows where his priorities lie. And it's good to have priority in the woman. But ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, as nice as that is, you need your priority in God. And she should understand that. And likewise, you should admire a woman who has her priorities set on the Lord above you. And of course, God's going to build you quietly. So build patience, build humility. He's going to work on your heart before anyone else can even see that. So don't worry about girls walking by you, whether they look good or they're really mean or whatever the case is. Because the truth is, the real one, the one he has planned out for you, if that's so the case, God willing, because not everyone gets a wife, then be patient for it because he won't let her miss you. She's going to get you and she'll hit you in the face when she comes. God won't let it be any other way because he's the God of clarity, not confusion. And so be patient and work on yourself and let him work on you while you wait privately. Number 2, control your desires. Lust doesn't disappear in relationships. It only gets magnified with the consequences. Think of porn. Men watch porn and they think it's okay because it only impacts them. Well, once they get into a relationship, now it's impacting his wife. How would the wife feel when she knew he was jerking off to a bunch of other women on the internet? How would she feel if he was committing sexual immorality every day instead of being a good Christian man? How would she feel if he only saw her for her physical traits and his mind was messed up and he couldn't get an erection to her body and only to women on the internet doing porn, and he found a better fantasy in watching people have sex than actually having sex? That's messed up. And you're doing that as we speak if you're committing sexual immorality. And so stop sexual immorality immediately. Whether it's a sexual fantasy, whether it's a desire you have, whatever it is, if it's immoral, stop it immediately because no good woman is going to want to be with you in that case. I mean, as a man, you might fantasize it, but seriously, would a good woman really want to be with a man who's only after her body? No, a beautiful woman, a godly woman will shut you up and give you to Jesus and get away quick. Additionally, comfort kills leadership. We all know a man needs to be a good leader. And the best of the best women know this too. They recognize that a man needs to take charge because she wants to rely on him and to love him for his leadership. And so when you're a leader, that doesn't mean you control. It means you're responsible. And so when you rely on comfort, whether it's food, whether it's lusting, no matter what it is, you sleep in a little bit extra, not because you're sick, but because you're lazy, all of a sudden you can't lead as much. You don't have the discipline. You don't take up your responsibilities. You don't take up your cross. The Lord says to take up your cross and follow him. And so if you can't even get out of bed on time, if you can't get into the gym, if you can't get into the Bible, if you're overeating, you're stress eating, you can't fix your bad habits, then that's problematic. And I'm not saying that to shame you. I'm not saying that because you're bad, right? If anything, you're beautiful because you're made in God's image, and so am I. And yet I have my bad habits. I chew my nails, I pick at my face if you can't tell from my acne, right? I sleep in a lot because my sleep schedule is all over the place. But I know I have to get on top of this. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but I need to get on top of this because marriage requires a man who can actually choose responsibility over comfort. That's not to say he can't be comfortable. That's not to say the woman is unable to bring comfort on her own leisure, but the man needs to be responsible. And I'm not saying that from a point of authority. I'm saying that from a point of love. Please take responsibility as men. And of course, you got to learn to say no to yourself. Imagine another woman comes up to you and tries to have sex with you, and you feel like you're special. Oh, she loves me. I'm chosen. Yes, I'll have sex with you because I'm chosen. When the reality is no. She knows you're easy. She's done it to the last 8 guys, and you're next in line. She'll have sex with you and dump you because she just wants to feel good and she wants to take advantage of you. So you need to learn to say no. And it doesn't end there. Like I said with food earlier, with discipline earlier, you need to say no. Sometimes you need to say no to your partner because you got to do the best decision. Most of the time you have to say no to yourself because you feel excited, so you want to do something inappropriate? No. You're angry, so you want to do something outrageous? No. You need to lead in truth and not logic, because logical people can disagree all they want, but a man who leads in truth by grace of God is going to lead the best way possible, objectively speaking. And you don't have to be logical to realize that. Just think for a moment and it'll make sense. And so that comes with saying no to yourself, denying the flesh and dying for God every single day. Number 3, work hard for the right intentions. So let's look at your body. Firstly, that's to glorify God. And secondly, that's because you really want to work hard. Nowhere in there does it say to get attention from girls, and nowhere in there does it say to be shirtless and to flex for other people. And especially not for your own ego. Yes, it's nice when a lady in your relationship can grab your muscles and say, you're so big. That's great, but that's not why you're doing it. You're doing it to glorify God, and that's the real bonus. So think of it this way. Next time you go to a beach, wear a shirt. Not because you have body dysmorphia, but because you know darn well, if you want a beautiful woman, she's not going to be in bikini with it right up her butt going all the way around. No, she's going to probably have some shorts on and a t-shirt on, and she's going to be having fun in the water playing with friends, right? And so why can't you do the same thing? And people are going to say, but it's different for guys, or, it's different, or I don't really want attention. Girls who post their butts on Instagram don't want attention, and yet they do it anyways because they just feel right. So you need to be intelligent. An unintelligent individual with no emotional integrity is going to post himself inappropriately or wear inappropriate clothes in public spaces. So if you want to be a man of God who so deserves a woman of God, you need to wear appropriate clothing. Sure, be buff, be awesome, but put a shirt on, not because you have body dysmorphia, but again, because you want to be wise and respectful. And of course, that brings me on to the next point. You got to build your mind. Whether it's skill, whether it's purpose, whether it's a direction, whether it's discipline, become more intelligent. Read books, read the Bible, study things, become smart. Solve Rubik's Cubes. Just your mind is an amalgamation, and it folds and it bends, especially when you're young. So take it, stretch it, and it's like a ball of clay, and bend it to whatever you want. You want to do this thing, stretch it out that way. You want to do that thing, stretch it out this way. You can do literally anything you want with your mind. I've been a fool my entire life, and I kind of still am, but I'm getting more and more wise as I grow older. And so yeah, as you age, you get wise, but stupid people can be at any ages. So age and wisdom isn't really like a correlation. It's more so experience and wisdom. And experience comes with age. But the more experience you have, the more you encourage yourself, the more wisdom you'll have. And the more wisdom you have, the less you'll need to focus on these things, and the more natural all this advice would be for you. And so additionally, that's when you finally build an emotional piece of wisdom, that emotional intelligence, that integrity I was talking about, where you don't rely on your wife to fix your mood, but rather she fixes your mood because she loves you. The same way she doesn't rely on you to go to God. She goes to God, but she lets you bring her closer because she loves you. You should encourage each other, right? You lead her because she wants to be led, not because you're an authority. And so that's what I mean when I say you got to build emotional strength, right? You got to learn to be calm. You got to learn responsibility. You got to learn respectfulness. You got to learn to be chill. And you got to learn to be a good man. And it's as simple as that. You just watched a simple video from a 19-year-old who's just studying on his own, and there you go. This is basically everything you need to be a good man. Obviously, I'm not a marriage expert, and I wouldn't take advice from someone who isn't married. I'm not married, and my relationships haven't been going well in the past, well, my whole life, but I've learned a lot from them, and I've met God, and boy, I really just want to work hard and find a wife one day, and when that time comes, if it's by the grace of God, because not every man can have a relationship, then I will be ready. Anyways, I love you, but God loves you more. And stay tuned because I want to launch a really cool project on Christ-based self-improvement. And I've never really seen that before. And so I'm really excited to show it to you all. If you really like this video, feel free to share it. Because imagine you change someone's life by sharing this video. And I'm not trying to manipulate you or encourage you to do anything. I just would be absolutely humbled if I could figure out that by you sharing this video, someone's life would be changed. Because a lot of my life was changed by people sharing things to me. Of course, do all that YouTube nonsense like liking and subscribing and whatever, because it really does help me out a lot. I know people say that all the time, but it truly does because that's how the algorithm works these days. But of course, I'll see you tomorrow.